over here is absolutely perfect. I realized the corner was broken, so that is not great. What is going on, nerds, and welcome to the second video in the Red Sea saga. Now, in the first video, we got the tanks, we got them in the house, they are on the stand and on the stand, but in this video, we are gonna be taking this relatively empty, not set up Red Sea Max S 700 G2 Plus tank, and we are going to be getting it to the point that it is ready to be turned on and ready for water. Now, what all does that include, you might ask? So we've got all this stuff here on the table that needs to go in the tank. This is all the plumbing that is pre-cut, pre-glued, pre-everything that just snaps right in those that are right there. They make this just about as easy as they can. This is their top of the line, best of the best tank. The stand, I'm not gonna lie, is a little bit of a pain to put together, but it's a really, really nice high quality stand with an aluminum frame. As you can see, we are about to get plumbing inside of the tank. Once we get all this plumbing stuff done, that's when we're gonna move the sump in. We're gonna unbox a bunch of the stuff that is in that corner right here, the sump, the lights. That's my favorite part. Let's get the plumbing inside the S700 and say hi to my cat because he wants to come inside. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. So as you can see here, everything is already glued together with these great silicone rings right here to stop any water from leaking through. On this side, you have pretty much the opposite, just screwed in. Everything is already glued in. These go up inside the overflow right there. That wasn't ideal. I'm gonna have to get that. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get that right now. Those 4 pipes are in now. I think we're gonna start working on everything underneath the tank. The only thing I don't really like, and it's not a problem with Red Sea, it's a problem with any of these tanks when you're setting it up, there's no way to 100% tell that you're good and watertight until you actually put water in it and you know that you're good and watertight. So we're just gonna hope for now. We are taking these 2 outlets. These are where the water is going to shoot out of after it comes out of, after it goes down into the sump, gets all filtered and comes back out. Again, nice little silicone seal in there. These should be super easy to pop in. Let's get it done. 2 returns are now snapped into place. These are actually on ball heads, which I didn't realize. So you can move these kind of anywhere. And they just snapped right onto that pipe there. That pipe there, just a push-in fitting and then just turn the bulkhead. So we've got returns on each side. Should provide great flow. Got one more piece that we gotta put right here real quick. And that last piece that I just put in was this one right here. This literally just pushes down and it's got 2 little holes. I'm not really sure how well you guys are gonna be able to see. Yeah, 2 little holes right there and then on this side as well. And I believe this is where the water is gonna get sucked in to go down inside of the sump. But that one didn't screw or anything, just like a little pressure fit on. And now we are gonna start the underneath plumbing. So just like everything else, nice little silicone ring is going to pop right in here, just like that. And then we just use this to screw it on and tighten it in like that. And this should snap right into there. They do a really good job of making sure everything is like nice and clean looking. You know, everything has its little holders where it's all in place. All right, next up we got a big boy. This is going, I believe, to this one right here, is that right? 2 pieces in, and then this is the adjustable flow valve, so you can kind of turn this and close this to tune it, so your tank is absolutely silent. All right, got another pipe going in. This one is going to go right in here. Nice and easy. Like I said, angles are a little bit weird, but no harm, no foul. Now we got the last piece for the overflow. I'll go through one more time, make sure all these are nice and tight. Now that all those are in, we have still a bunch more plumbing that we gotta hook up. There is a decent amount of plumbing just because there's a ton of water flow in this tank. Please drop the video a like, go follow Red Sea. They sent us all of this amazing stuff and they're letting me review it with pretty much any terms that I want. Go follow Red Sea, drop us a comment, let us know what you think. I really appreciate it. Later on in this video, we'll even FaceTime Kevin to see what he thinks of the tank. So I guess we're actually ready to get the sump in right now. So this is the box the sump came in. I still haven't opened it. Let's go ahead, open it together and see what extra stuff is in here. Well, I just noticed something as I was about to get that in there. Got this piece in there and I noticed there was a couple pieces of glass. And if you look closely, It's kind of hard to tell. That corner right there has a decent sized glass chunk out of it. I'm assuming that happened with shipping, but I obviously didn't know. So that really stinks. I was excited to get this done today, but you know, that's not Red Sea's fault. In shipping, it could have just gotten bumped the wrong way or something like that. As I said before, they do pack them phenomenally well, but you know, sometimes things happen, and I guess I just got the one bad luck piece, so I reached out to Red Sea. Let's see what they say. I'm sure they're gonna take care of us.
2 weeks later.
The new sump came in, so that's exciting. Red Sea just sent it right to us. Realistically, no questions asked. I just kind of wanted the serial number off the big tank. So there it is. I got it in. It looks great. Everything is perfect. We gotta finish getting the cabinet done so we can start getting some stuff inside the sump and inside the tank. Hard plumbing wise, we are effectively done. I got in those two little down pipes right there, and then got the plumbing done for the return, which goes to one single outlet right there. And that's just because I'm running one single return pump. I don't really think I need to. If I end up feeling like I need to, I can just swap out that plumbing, add these two pieces, and then I can run 2 return pumps. The front support brace is now in as well. And as easy as that, our doors are on. Nice opening, and my favorite part, soft closing. The camera died, unfortunately, so now we are over to the iPhone, so I apologize if the audio quality is not quite as good. Now we get to start doing all of the cool stuff, which is getting all of this stuff inside of the tank. So we've got to do the return pumps, we've got to do the lights, we've got to do the protein skimmer, we've got to do the doser, we got to do the controllers, we got to do the power heads. There's a lot to do, so let's get cracking. So we're gonna start kind of small and then work our way up to the really cool stuff. So this is the Reefrun 7000 DC pump. This is going to be our return pump. This is like your life support system. Without this, your tank pretty much dies because there's no filtration. So we're gonna get this guy unboxed, and then I will show you where he goes in that side of the sump. All right, so here's all our stuff. That's the pump itself, some fittings, and then these are all your power and controller cables. I'm gonna go ahead and read the instruction manual, and once I figure out how to get it actually installed, I'll bring you guys back and we'll put it inside the tank. All right, well, I guess we're gonna take a pause on this. Though I have all this stuff here, it's supposed to connect to that right there. And maybe I'm just being a little dumb, but I don't understand how to make that happen at the moment. So I reached out to my contact at Red Sea. I'm hoping they'll be able to help me. I say we get the reef mat in. Let's play with the big toys. So here is our roller mat, and then everything that came along with it is right here. Seems relatively simple to install. I mean, there's definitely a lot of little pieces and a lot of things you have to do to get it installed. Basically, this hose right here connects to the down pipe that has that red valve on it. That goes in here, it cleans all of the water. The filter roller goes on here as it gets dirty. This thing spins, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a really efficient way to clean your aquarium. This thing looks absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited to get it put together and get it on. We got it installed. As you can see, there's still some parts sitting inside. You actually have to connect it to the ReefBeat app to finish the installation. And I'm just not ready to run power cables yet. I'm gonna do that absolutely last if I can. So now we are gonna go ahead and get the protein skimmer and put it in its spot right there. Here is everything for our absolute unit of a protein skimmer. This thing is massive, comes with all kinds of sensors. I'm really excited to get this in the tank because it's really gonna make it pop. This thing is super clean. It does look a little complex though, so I have to read through all of the instructions like I am with everything to figure it out because again, you know, I'm not the best at this, but I'm definitely not the worst. I understand fundamentals, but I definitely need instructions to make this stuff work. So here it is in all of its beauty, completely set up. Took me about 15 minutes. Essentially all you have to do is get this pump in here, click it on, you put the actual chamber right here on and kind of orient it how you want it to. So I flipped it, it was initially facing this way. Now I have it flipping facing out. Put this piece in that goes up to your silencer right here. You put your cup on. Those two things are sensors that also connect to the ReefBeat app so you can tell when it's too full. But yeah, that was really easy. It looks super clean. Now I just gotta get it in the sump. Look at that. We got our roller mat in and relatively kind of set up. We've got our skimmer all the way in and completely set up aside from running power. So pretty much everything down here is good to go aside from the return pump, which like I said, is gonna go in this little slot. I just need a piece of plastic tubing to connect from right there to the actual pump itself. And then we're pretty much done under here. This whole spot right here is gonna be open to fill with some live rock from my local fish store. But I think now we're gonna go ahead and get the lights on up there. Much like all of the other stuff, now I just have to unbox it, read some instructions, and get it on the tank. But we are getting very close. After this, we have to install the controllers and the dosing pumps. And then I think that is pretty much it. So we're almost done. I got the 3 brackets on. As you can see, the light will hang right at the end of that. These are super easy to put together. It's literally 4 screws. You just adjust how far you want your light to be out. There's a screw holding this piece into this piece, and then there's some thumb screws, kind of see in the back right there, that tighten on, so these can't move. Admittedly, if I was gonna do this again, I would probably put those on prior to getting it against the wall. Just a little bit of a pain in the butt to twist the thumb screws while it's that close to the wall, but I was still able to do it without any issues. Now I have to unbox the lights themselves and get them onto the brackets. One light is on and mounted. I really like how you can run the cable underneath, then through there, on top of there, and then it'll go down the back. I think that just gives a really clean install look. 2 more to go. All 3 lights are on and mounted. Tried to get them all as straight as I could. I think they look pretty good. This one might be a little bit off, but it's kind of hard to get them perfect, to be honest, but I don't know. I guess I'm not really chasing perfection. I think they look pretty good though. So this is one of our 2 gyre power heads that I'm trying to kind of figure out what's going on, because I read through the instructions. I don't really see what any of this stuff is for. I know this is, you know, what like cable tubing can go through, but I don't really know what this is for, what that's for, what these are for, or what this little red one is for. Can't really figure that out. I know this just connects to that on the side of the tank. I'm gonna go ahead and get that on, and I'll show you guys what they look like once I get them on. I think I'm gonna run them both on the back of the tank. I also need to clean up whatever that is that came on it when it was shipped. So I'm gonna run one on this side, and then I'm gonna put the other one on that side. And then as you can see, the return pumps right here are gonna be pushing water out. So we'll have water coming forward and water going sideways. That should be able to keep everything relatively clean. One of the main reasons that I have them on the back is just aesthetics. I don't think they look as good if you have them on the side, because you can't really hide the cables too well. So we'll see if I can get the flow that I want to make sure no detritus builds up or anything like that. And if it doesn't, then I can put them on the sides, or I can, you know, just try to move them around to see if I can get the positioning right to make sure we have enough flow. For now, I got 1 more of those to unbox, open, and put on. I just figured it out. It's a spare parts pack. I did not read the instructions, or I mean, I guess I just didn't read this little thing. So good to know. So we've got 1 of the power heads there, 1 of the power heads there. Now I think it is time to start doing some cable management and getting the controllers and all of that stuff mounted. When I do the dose, I'll bring you guys back, because that's gonna go on the pull-out wall, which is a really cool little feature that Red Sea has. For now, cable management, the bane of my existence.
1 eternity later.
When I left you guys yesterday, we still had to get the dosing pump, the controllers, and we had to get the piece of tubing from the return pump up to the 2 returns. We're in a similar spot today, but I did get a couple things done. I added some just click button lights in here so I could kind of see what I'm doing. And then if you look close, try to zoom in on it for you, you can see I have a piece of clear vinyl tubing, so the actual overflows, or I'm sorry, so the actual returns are hooked up now. Now I need to get on the controller, which you can see right there. That's the cable for the dosing pump. And then I have the reef dose right here. And then obviously I have a ton of cable management to do. There is literally power cables all over my entire dining room. We got cables here. We got cables here. We got cables there. And we got 5 more cables for the lights and the gyre. So that's my project. I'll just give you guys status updates as I go. Update time. My kitchen table is an absolute nightmare, but in here, it doesn't look super pretty, but that's because this slides in and out. So like everything has to have some like slack in it. But I don't care as much about what over here looks like, because over here is absolutely perfect. And this is the area that I want to look pretty. So over here, everything looks great. Have to clean up the 2 cables that come off the wave makers. But aside from that, everything has power, and it feels pretty good to be done, quote unquote. I'm definitely not done, but I could, in theory, fill this up right now, turn it on, and everything would work, probably. And hopefully hold water with no leaks. But that's just something we're gonna have to investigate and figure out. One thing I did completely forget about is our heater. So this, again, was provided by Bulk Reef Supply. It's a Helio dual controller, as well as two 300-watt Bulk Reef Supply titanium heaters. These will do more than a good enough job to keep this aquarium exactly where we want it temperature-wise. So I've got to go ahead and get these mounted up. Obviously, I can't turn these on yet because we don't want them to explode. If you have your heaters outside of water, bad news bears, they get way too hot. So I got the two heaters set up right there. Those cables run back and around with our Helios controller right there. Again, there's definitely still some cleanup that needs to take place in here. It's not done, but I mean, I'm not overly mad at it. I can still slide it a decent amount of the way out. Definitely not all the way, I just don't really find that necessary. And it would make it way less clean than it already is.